I'm LG Knowles from the Horse Race Advantage Company. Welcome to our series of videos on handicapping. Today we will be talking about the influencing factors that provide insight into a particular horse and how he may run with these factors. Today we will be talking about tracks.
When looking at track surfaces, the most common tracks in Northern America is dirt and turf, and this is based upon the physical location, geographical location of the particular track. Dirt is most common in Northern America, and followed that by turf, grass racing, common in most of the world. In addition to the dirt and turf tracks, we also have synthetic surface tracks. These are made of man-made type of materials, and then turf horses seem to be able to move from synthetic to turf better than from synthetic to dirt, and that's something that you may want to take into consideration when you actually analyze the horses. Now, when we look at the track configuration, we find that different locations, different tracks have different configurations for their tracks. And so in this particular case, you find at Aqueduct there's a 1.1 mile dirt track with an inner track of 1 mile. And in addition to that, Aqueduct also has 7/8 mile plus 43 feet inner turf. At Belmont, we find the main dirt track is 1.5 miles, which is pretty long, and the Belmont also hosts the Belmont Stakes out of the Triple Crown races, and you see this is a pretty long dirt track. The turf is 1/5/16 of a mile, and the inner turf is 1/3/16 of a mile. So each one of these tracks you'll find have different configurations, and different configurations for turf and inner turf. So let's take an example here. Fairgrounds New Orleans has a 1 mile 70 yards dirt track, and so a horse starts over here and finishes around the oval over here. Now you see that the turf track is the inner track here, and it's about 7.5 furlongs. Now the difference here is that a horse has to come around these corners here when they actually run a mile or longer race. In contrast, when we go to Calder Race Course, the dirt track over there is 1/16 mile, and they start over here, they come around the oval, and they finish over here. Now what's interesting is when you go to the turf, there's a special chute here. Okay, and so depending upon the length of the distance of the race, a horse, depending upon post position, may actually have to maneuver around these turns here on the track. Or when he's on the outside, he has to be careful that he doesn't cut off the post position 1 or 2 horses here. So there's some maneuvering going on here at the beginning of the race, and there are more turns that a jockey will have to maneuver around, and the horse, of course, has to respond to that. Daily Racing Form has some standard symbols for their tracks, and these are the symbols here. The inner dirt track being turf course, inner turf course, race taken off the turf, all-weather track, and start at the chute. So this will give you some indication, and when you see this, you may want to take a look at the post position of the particular horse. The dirt track conditions are identified: fast, good, slow, sloppy, muddy, heavy, and wet fast. And these are the explanations associated with these different dirt track conditions. When we go to the turf, they have a different type of condition: firm, good, soft, yielding, heavy. Firm, dry with a slight give to it. Good, relatively firm with some moisture and slightly more give. Okay. Track conditions. they are weather dependent and also track maintenance dependent. For handicapping, we actually can simplify all these different track surfaces and conditions, because the difference does not actually influence the outcome of a particular race very significantly. So when you handicap, you separate between dirt and turf, and there's only two conditions that you really have to worry about. For dirt, it's either fast and good or sloppy and muddy, and for turf, it's either firm and good or soft and yielding. For synthetic surfaces, they are considered fast, but sometimes it's a little slower than normal when the weather is bad.
This concludes the video on tracks. It is one of the factors that influence the outcome of a particular race, and I hope that the small details that I identified in this particular video will help you handicap and get the horse that's most likely going to be in the money. And so I'm looking forward to seeing you in our next video that talks about a couple of other influencing factors. That includes the trainers and the jockeys. Until then, I'm looking forward to seeing you. Thank you.